Your next business idea won't come from a book, but through prayer. So recently, through prayer, God gave me a business idea that's changing my life. And I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about that. Thank you for tuning in to Walking in Power. I'm your host, Danny, and let's get right into it. So, one day I was praying, and I wasn't even asking God about a business or anything that really had to do with job or work wise, other than the fact that I was complaining about work and just telling him, everything's not perfect in our lives, and everything's not smooth sailing. Like, we're gonna come across problems, but the best thing you could do is to go to God with them and talk to him about it. Oh, I don't know why my eyes are like looking so watery. But anyways, so in prayer, I was just talking to him. I was just talking to him about what was happening during the day and what was happening at work, and just how tired I was. Like, work can be tiring, especially with all the demands and expectations that other people have on you. A lot of times they could be unrealistic expectations that no one should expect from any other human being. Anyways, I was just talking about work, and God dropped in my spirit, open up a gift shop. And I'm like, what? A gift shop? And at first I tried to brush it off, and then a couple of days went by, and I decided, all right, this is on my mind heavy. I heard him clear. Let me ask God what he's talking about, how to do this. So literally, that was the question I asked. How do I do this? How do I open a gift shop? And so his response to that was by my spirit, by the leading of my spirit, and by faith. And I'm like, yeah, that's God. Typical fashion, faith and being led by the spirit. But still, even that's like, okay, what's the first steps? Like, what's the first steps? And as the days went by and I kept probing him and praying and asking, I just kept remembering these different events that happened in my life. One of them being probably over a year ago, my friend's husband, during prayer, had a vision with me in it. And he said, in the vision, I was praying. And as I was praying, there was this plant, like a plant in a pot before me. And within the plant, or in the pot, there was a pod in there. And then it was a golden pod. And as I was praying, it was growing. And he said something about writing and stuff like that. I do have 2 books that I've written, so all of that was kind of making sense, but the pod wasn't really making sense. And then probably like a half a year later, I had a dream where in the dream I had a pod. It was like a silver pod. And so what it looked like, it almost looked like a bean pod, or like a lima bean pod, if you will, or something like that. But it was silver, and it made me think about the YouTube silver button or play button, whatever it is that they send people when they have YouTube or whatever. So it made me think about that. And so I'm like, okay, something with YouTube. And then as still going, asking questions, God just placed in my heart to start a podcast, which this is a part of it, called Walking in Power. And to tie that back to the gift shop though, I was like, what? How am I gonna do a gift shop? And as I continue to think about it, it kind of like started to sit better with me, only because I realized it would make sense for him to tell me to open a gift shop, because I'm a creative person. I really like designing and artsy type of things. And in a gift shop, I can design a lot of things that I like. Like, I used to make candles. I'm gonna eventually get back into that and have it in my gift shop. But those are one of the things I love doing, that, candles. And just connecting with people, and especially like, those happy moments and those times in your life that are exciting, or you want to celebrate with someone. And so it just started to make sense. But the journey to even opening one. So one, I'm not in a place where I can physically open up a brick and mortar, even though eventually I would like to. But two, it's not even it may or may not be the smartest thing, because a lot of people have e-commerce, a lot of people like buying online. And so that's what I made the decision. Okay, I'm gonna do an online gift shop. But I was like, where to start? And I felt like God was guiding me to watch videos on YouTube that will like show you how to start a website. And then prior to that, I had like I was praying, and then again he actually said open up a website, and I'm like, through where? Like what channel? And I got Shopify. And I had a Shopify store before with my candles, so it made sense. So as I felt like he was leading me to watch YouTube, I found one YouTube video, and it was talking about Shopify and opening a Shopify store. But the main kind of like just or idea of it was to start with print on demand items, which makes sense. It's low overhead, right? Low inventory. If you don't have a lot of money, it's something easy to do, and to start with not a lot of capital. And then, but I started putting two together, like two and two together. Print on demand. If you take those first letters of each word, it's P-O-D, pod. And I'm like, bro, okay, we doing a podcast and we doing a print on demand gift shop. Okay, I see you, Lord. So I must confess, I haven't made a lot of sales. I'm still learning. I'm still in the process of just learning how to kind of like market it. I'm trying to learn a little bit about the Facebook ads and go that route. But you know, one day at a time. Yeah, so definitely one day at a time. It's taking me a little bit, but I will say there was one. So right now I have t-shirts on there. I have journals, and I have like some sweatshirts. I have one hat and a little tote bag. And so for one of the shirts, as I was, you know, in the process of making designs and starting this gift shop business, God was like, invite me into your business. And I was shocked. I was like, hold up. I didn't know I was leaving you out of my business. I was starting a business because you told me to, and you were leading me already. But apparently in the midst of trying to open up and trying to start this business, of course I forgot about God. I forgot he's the one that ultimately told me to start it. So why not continue to inquire to him, even in the areas of like design and what to put in my shop and everything that goes into it. So of course I invited him into my business, invited him into can't even talk into one of the designs that I was doing. And there was like this phrase that kept coming up in my spirit, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. So it's called, what is it called? It's called I Heard You Like the Wild Ones. And I put that on a t-shirt. And then I put on the bottom of the words, I put like a field of wildflowers. So I really liked it and enjoyed it. And lo and behold, what is the first t-shirt that sells on my website? That t-shirt. I Heard You Like the Wild Ones. So that was just a confirmation that I felt like that I received from God, that I was on the right track and that I should like build into this. So yeah. Sorry, I do have notes here, and I went over through most of my notes. And so, yeah, so that's just the journey that I'm on. And I just encourage you to pray and welcome God into your business. Any business that you might have or might not have started yet, because he might give you that inclination or that prompt to go ahead and start a business. And before I end, there's some other stuff that I want to there are some stuff that I'm gonna get to, but I kind of want to share. So I'm doing a giveaway. Sorry, just quick. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I just got a message. But anyway, so I want to do a giveaway. So I'm doing a giveaway. So right now I'm working on 10 videos. At the end of the 10 videos, which would be towards the end of June, I will pick a winner, and I have a couple of gifts. And so I'm gonna talk about the first gift in this video. And so I'm picking a few people. I'm picking a few winners for one of the following prizes at the end of my 10 video series. And I was just gonna say one gift at a time, but like I want to tell you all. So the 3 gifts are a $25 gift card, a 5-day gratitude attitude guide that I have worked on for like the past couple of days that I will be rolling out, but I want to give that free to somebody. And I'm gonna have a video on why I'm doing gratitude journaling. So that's basically what it's gonna be about, and just like being mindful of your mental health and your physical wellness. And so that's one of the gifts. It is a 5-day gratitude attitude digital guide and a gratitude journal kit. So there'll be 3 different lucky winners, and they will be receiving one of these gifts. And in order to enter, you will have to subscribe, like this video, and comment what is your biggest takeaway from this video, and then hashtag gratitude attitude. And then for extra entry points, if you will, if you watch every video in the month of June, so these 10 videos that are coming out, and hashtag gratitude attitude in each one, and comment on there, that will give you extra entries. And I will announce the winners in my community tab, and I will do a separate video announcing the winners. And back to my video. So I don't know if I told you guys already though, as I was building this website, the Shopify website for my gift shop, I watched a video on YouTube, and it was called the 21-hour guide, something along like that, to opening up a print-on-demand Shopify store. And that's what continued to lead me to opening up my gift shop that's called LonnieLux.com. If you want, guys, check it out. I do have, like I said, I have some t-shirts on there. I have a hat, some tote bags, and some journals. I will be adding more journals eventually, because I want to make gratitude journals. And then I also want to, like I said, I'm very creative and I like painting, so I will make some custom journals, or journals that have a painted cover on them. So yeah, so I did pretty much watch that guide and did what they said just to even start the website and my gift shop. And although I only have one basically order on there that I already fulfilled, actually I take that back. So I do, like, I've had like outside of my website or like online, I've had like personal and in-person kind of orders, and then I've given away some t-shirts. But that's where I'm at so far, and I hope this inspires you. I do want to leave you with some homework and a prompt. The next time you're journaling or praying or talking to God, I want you to ask him, sorry, I'm trying to, ooh, Lord. This is the question I want you to ask God. God, what would you have me build today? So you already know, that's your homework. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next time.